to put something in front of you so we weren't making them up on the spot. Okay, so yesterday groups made a whole lot of beginning vision statements about things. They talked about some projects that they're doing, and numbers of them talked about how the communication would go on. So, so I just want to give you a feel for it. I'm not going to try and tell you what the vision is at this point, because we'll develop it and wordsmith it online. But there's a lot of material about recognising the public value of the arts and its... and put this in your mind. We're trying to write a vision where we can get cross-party support and cross-sector support, right? So it's going to be something about the public value of the arts and the important role it has in engagement with current issues like climate and refugees, young people, honouring First Peoples culture, intergenerational respect, the global context, health, the decolonisation topic, sustainable financing of the arts through a million ways, government funding and enterprise and arts-led businesses and royalties, copyright and royalties and philanthropy, etc. You want to say things about employment. You want to talk about respecting and celebrating cultural diversity. You want to talk about stories and storytelling and how that informs everything that is done. And about how data informs that. There's stuff about expression of identity and how the arts contributes to that. And then there are some specific things about art form visions, like the performing arts we had, but there'll be others, the disability arts, regional arts. But there are big themes about First Peoples First, about decolonisation, about identity, as well as value and respect, you know, a whole range of things, which is quite a good beginning. What I think is missing and what we'll have to do over the next few months is start to describe what we think that looks like, so that the vision becomes like, so what we've done is identify what issues and problems are and what some things that we want to change or grow or develop. So we've got just the next step to go to start to think about, you know, if we say our vision is decolonised art, we need to be able to talk about that. Like, what does that look like, so that it's understood and people can relate to that, for example. So I'm hoping that you will agree to leave aside those vision topics so that we'll take them from the work you did and put them up as drafts and let you work on them online. Does that sound acceptable? Okay. So then that leads us to working out how we organise ourselves and what kinds of things, projects and campaigns and activities we're going to work on together. And that's where this came from. So we went across and we looked at all the work that had come through, and so this is what we came up with, and very open to change. How do we support First Peoples in achieving their goals? How can we achieve a collective voice about things that matter? How do we build political power through alliances and connect with other sectors thinking outside the box? What protocols would we have that we ask the whole sector to uphold? How are we going to communicate within the sector over 4 years of this project in different ways? What campaigns will we initiate now? And there were a number of things that people talked about yesterday, like some arts and health project and the money laundering project, and there's some performing arts project suggestions in there. There's the awareness raising campaign. There's the expansion of the refuge at the art house. Like, so there are little projects that are kind of scattered through, and if you read through people's feedback, you'll see them. So there might be small projects, or there might be big projects that people think we should be working on together, or that group might want to just talk about how people can initiate projects that other people can join into. Like, how can that discussion go on? So that's looking at what campaigns, what will we do, and how will we get things moving there. How can we agree and run a public awareness campaign? And there's the beginning. I mean, there's certainly a project suggested from Tasmania, but that needs to be built on, because that's how we're going to communicate with each other over the next 4 years, how we're going to communicate with the rest, the rest of the world. And then how we're going to connect with and bring together artists who are working in ways that inform our future. So that's not connecting them to us, it's how we're going to connect with artists who are out there and bring them together to work together on campaigns and things that are happening. Because there's a whole lot of things in the feedback about people wanting to work collaboratively, wanting to link in with artists that they don't know, young artists who need support and mentoring. So it's how we're going to connect. So some people are in companies and in sectors that talk to each other more, but there's a whole range of people out there who need to find ways of connecting in. And what are we going to do about ongoing financing and the various ways, that's there. Now, if what you care about doesn't appear to be in these groups, let us know now, and we'll just spend a few minutes seeing if we can reshape this if we need to. Yes, and you need a microphone. Sorry, you can come and use these. I'm happy if you want to come up or just grab the...
In the absence of a vision, one thing that appears to be missing for me is from what context are we working on this? What is the frame until we can actually develop that vision?